A good question to ask at this time is, what will be the long-term impact of successive expansionary and contractionary monetary policies on the economy at large? Suppose initially economy is in recessionary gap and central banker implements expansionary monetary policy by increasing the money supply. As we know, because of this increase, aggregate demand will shift to its right and economy will achieve its natural equilibrium. But what if expansionary monetary policy is continued further even after the economy reaches its natural equilibrium? Aggregate demand will rise even further, right? Now, as we know, aggregate demand is equal to the product of P, that is average prices, and Q, that is average quantities demanded. Now, in the short term, Q may not be able to be increased much as there will be supply side constraints in the economy. The production units may not be able to supply more than what they already do in the short term. Hence, there would be a case of too much money chasing too few goods. This would naturally lead to an overall rise in the level of prices in the economy, right? Now, with the prices increasing, the consumers would have to shell out more money in order to buy the same quantities of products and services, right? As we discussed, the price level is one determinant of the quantity of money demanded. At higher prices, more money is exchanged every time a good or service is sold. As a result, people will choose to hold a larger quantity of money. That is, a higher price level increases the quantity of money demanded for any given interest rate. Now, let's look at the money market curves. With a higher demand for money from consumers, the demand curve would shift rightward. As we all know, this shift in money demand affects the equilibrium in the money market. For a fixed money supply, the interest rate must rise to balance money supply and money demand. So, the higher price level has increased the amount of money people want to hold and has shifted the money demand curve to the right. Yet, the quantity of money supplied is unchanged. So, the interest rate must rise from R1 to R2. This increase in the interest rate has ramifications not only for the money market but also for the quantity of goods and services demanded as shown in the figure. At a higher interest rate, the cost of borrowing and the return to saving are greater. Fewer households choose to borrow to buy a new house, and those who do buy smaller houses, so the demand for residential investment falls. Fewer firms choose to borrow to build new factories and buy new equipment, so business investment, that is I, falls. Fewer consumers choose to take loans to consume products and services, so household consumption, that is C, falls. When the large components such as C and I reduce, the AD reduces from Y1 to Y2. Hence, this analysis of the interest rate effect can be summarized in 3 steps. A higher price level raises money demand. Higher money demand leads to a higher interest rate, and a higher interest rate reduces the quantity of goods and services demanded. Of course, the same logic works in reverse as well. A lower price, because of continuous contractionary monetary policy, reduces money demand, which leads to a lower interest rate, and this in turn increases the quantity of goods and services demanded.